Hello all sentient beings and welcome to the Transmissions Podcast, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers! On this episode of Transmissions, we've got some info on the new 2020 Transformers Studio Series figures. Takara Tommy makes a splash with Seacons, and ThreeA is shutting down. Today is Wednesday, August 7th, 2019, and this is episode 341 of Transmissions.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that always breaks the fourth wall. I'm your host Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Yusuf, better known as Yoshi.
He looks directly into the camera before hollering, "Yo!"
It's more meta rather than breaking the fourth wall, but anyway.
Jesus Christ.
Jeremy, a.k.a. Yakko.
Hey, how you doing? He asks every week.
And Daryl, the Cybertronian beast.
Let's talk Transformers is my catchphrase.
Yes, it is.
Technically, the room I'm in has 3 walls.
Anyway, let's start the show off by thanking our Donatreons, those lovely people who give us money on Patreon and PayPal. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for continuing to support the show, and we really appreciate it. If you would like to become a Donatreon and you have not already done so, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support, and you can find links to Patreon and PayPal where you can sign up, and that keeps the show going. Another way to support the show is to buy merchandise from us, and you can go to our TeePublic store. That is at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. And every time you buy something through our link from TeePublic, that gives us a little bonus, especially if you buy the shirt designs we have put up there from Transmissions. And there are lots of awesome, amazing shirts. Daryl and I were on display at TFCon Toronto last month, so you should have seen all those. We've got lots of pictures.
That makes me sound like I'm an object, Charles. I was a model. I modeled them. I wasn't on display myself.
Well, look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants. All right,
Next
Daryl.
year in the third-party
Model.
display, Daryl wearing a Transmission shirt.
That's right.
But yeah, check those out. Also, check out art by a friend of the show and awesome artist, K-Girl. You can check out her TeePublic store at teepublic.com/user/superstark. All right. One of the perks of being a Transmissions Donatreon is that you are automatically entered in our monthly Toy Hacks drawing, where you can win a $10 gift code from Toy Hacks. We are going to do our July drawing today, so we know we're a little bit late, but you can blame Jeremy because he was on the show last week. It's your fault, Jeremy.
Sure.
Can you tell me what number I am so I can listen for it?
You are not eligible for this drawing, Yoshi.
Wait a minute.
You're on the show. You don't get it. You can't win prizes from the show. You're on the show. You're on the show.
What am I doing on the show then? I'm not going to win
You've
it.
been too frequent lately. You've been upgraded from guest host again.
Look, this is coming from the guy who was just pointed out that we're late on this drawing because of you.
So all you Donatrons, you get automatically entered into this contest. If you are not a Donatron, you can still enter the contest, but you have to send an email to contest@transmissionspodcast.com. And if you send it during that month, you send us an email saying, I'd like to enter the Toy Hacks drawing for this month, and here's a picture of a Transformer toy that I would like to get stickers on. So you have to work a little bit if you're not already a Donatron. But if you're a Donatron, you're just in the drawing, so that's nice. So we're going to pick a winner right now. Jeremy, is your lovely assistant ready?
Think so. Computer, are you ready?
I'm ready when you are.
All right. So, Jeremy, if you could have your assistant pick a random number between 1 and 110.
Computer, give me a random number between 1 and 110.
The answer is 8.
Okay.
I didn't hear that.
Well, it said the answer is 8.
All right. Well, number 8, and this is totally a coincidence, but the winner is
Me?
Brad Bawalski.
Right on.
So this is not because he lives in the same area as Jeremy and they hang out occasionally.
I haven't seen them since, I think, January 1st.
Okay.
Jeremy doesn't have access to the list of who's
I have
matches.
I don't pay attention to the list. I just see the number that Charles tells me to do the random number 2.
But Brad, congratulations. You win. You are getting that $10 gift code from Toy Hacks. You are the July winner.
Great job, Brad.
You did it.
Nice to get our technology fails done early in the show.
All right. So congrats to Brad. Brad, let us know what stickers you get when you get your gift code and show them off on social media. Show off all the stuff you won from transmissions.
Mm-hmm.
And next, we also want to remind you that Empire of Rust Episode 3 is out this week, so you should have already gotten it in your feeds. So hopefully you listened to it and enjoyed it. And
A lot of positive feedback for that show, too.
Exactly, yeah. And we now have the cast of Empire of Rust in our Discord chat in the Empire of Rust channel. So if you want to talk to the folks who play Mike's RPG, Transformers RPG, you can on our Discord. So if you're not already in our Discord, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/Discord, and there you can click the invite to get in, and then you can go to the Empire of Rust channel to talk to all of the cast members there. Now, lastly, before we get into our toy discussion, I did want to mention that Yoshi has got a little fan project he's got going. We recorded a new Transmissions Declassified to talk about it, and that will be up very soon. But today, when this show goes up, Yoshi's launching a new website called TransformersReanimated.com, which is all about the project that Yoshi's did. So, Yoshi, real quick, do you want to talk about your project?
Sure. I co-wrote a Transformers comic book script that takes place in the G1 universe between the end of the second season and the 86 movie. Intended to be an ongoing. We're posting the first issue with art by Casey Collar and colors by Tom B. Long on Wednesday. And we've got 6 issues right now written, and we're trying to get art for the remaining issues, and the intention is to post one once a month on a Wednesday that IDW does not have a Transformers comic coming out. So check it out at transformersreanimated.com and let us know what you think.
And you did that with your collaborator, Greg, from the Unfunny Nerd Tangent.
I did. I tried to do it with you. You told me to go to hell, so I did it with Greg.
I don't remember saying that.
And in repayment, jerk, I put you in the comics. So you're welcome. Yeah. It took a lot of skill. Thank you.
All right, so let's get into talking about some toys.
All right. Well, this week, we're going to start off like we did last week with our Unicron update. Transformers War for Cybertron Unicron is still in the crowdfunding stage, and as of right now, it has 2,219 backers of the 8,000 that it requires by the end of this month, 27 days from now. So, if I remember correctly, this is just under 150, or just over 150 from where we were last week. That's a good jump. So, not really very close to 8,000.
The rate won't match up.
No. This is not quite going to do it if we're going by this kind of jump. But I mean, we all know that crowdfundings at the end kind of make a big splash. So we'll see. But yeah, we need a few more here if we're going to make this thing happen. So yeah, if you're thinking about it, get in.
Come on, people. This is an Orson Welles sized figure for an sized price.
Can I ask the important question here? Daryl, how much does it cost to get in on this?
It's $575.
Okay, whoever you are listening to this show, if you're going to plunk $575 on this figure, why is your donation to the show so low? If you've got that kind of money, give us more. That's all I'm asking.
It could also be argued that the reason why they're not donating is because they're buying this.
I can't find holes in that logic.
It's pretty sound. Moving on to the topics of this week, we've got newly released, kind of announced figures for the Studio Series, Transformer Studio Series, that came out from a show in Mexico. And we got a whole bunch of official images and stuff that, well, not really official images, but they are kind of just pictures from the show. So we've got, if you're into the movie design... We
do have official images, too.
That's correct. Yeah, I guess we do. So it's the... they announced four packs. I'll get to that in a second, but essentially we've got 4 new toys that we're going to talk about here. The first one up is the 2007 first Michael Bay movie, Camaro Bumblebee. And what Studio Series number is this, Jeremy?
Movie 1 Bumblebee is Studio Series number 49.
49. Holy cow, that's a lot of Studio Series we've got. So this is the iconic Camaro, the concept Camaro that came with the 2007 Michael Bay movie, and it transforms to look very good in that mode. So if you're really into that movie and that Bumblebee design, this is probably for you. Next up, we've got the Last Night World War II Hot Rod. What Studio Series number is this, Jeremy?
World War II Hot Rod is number 50.
50! All right. So this one here is a definite retool of Studio Series World War II Bumblebee. It's an old-timey car with a cannon on the front. It looks pretty cool, right? They've kind of taken that Bumblebee mold. They've changed up the gun on the front to give it Hot Rod's gun and put Hot Rod's head on it and painted it black. It's okay if you're looking for something. Obviously, this wasn't in the movie, so it's just an interpretation of what Hot Rod would have been. I kind of wish that I would have given Hot Rod like a French vehicle. This is, I think it's German, so yeah. But whatever. So it's a retool.
He's in disguise.
Yeah. If you wanted to make a World War II movie kind of crew, this is probably on your list. The third pack here is the reason why I didn't say 4 individual figures is because it's a 3-pack. This is the Revenge of the Fallen Arcee, Chromia, and Elita 1 motorcycle gang. What Studio Series number is this, Jeremy?
That would be number 52.
52. Number. Looking at these 3, they appear to be essentially the same mold, although Chromia does appear to be a little different, but they're 3 motorbikes. They turn into some pretty badass lady robots, and we remember them from the movie. They died pretty quick, but they were pretty awesome in the movie, and yeah, so they're also like unicycling robots, so I don't know how they're going to stand as figures, but that'll be kind of cool, so we'll figure that out. But yeah, they look really cool in their pink, blue, and purple. So yeah, that looks pretty neat. And they're going to be obviously a lot smaller because they're coming in the deluxe wave, right? So this is a deluxe size box with 3 figures in it. So they're going to be small. And
there are pictures from the convention that show that the wheels have little I guess like a little boot that you can put on them to make them stand up.
Oh, okay. All right, well, that's good. And lastly, this is kind of one that gets me kind of excited because I don't buy a lot of movie toys, but this was a really cool car, and I definitely went out and searched out the deluxe version of this when it came out that never got released in North America, so it was kind of hard to find. This is from Revenge of the Fallen. or sorry, not Revenge of the Moon. This is Dark of the Moon. Sorry, Dark of the Moon Soundwave. So, and he does include his partner Laserbeak. So this is the Soundwave mold that turns into the Mercedes SLR or SLX. I don't know. It's a high end Mercedes. It's the gray Mercedes, and he looks pretty badass. It's a deluxe wave studio series. It's a gorgeous alt mode, really is. I'd be buying this purely for the alt mode. Although Soundwave really did look pretty badass as a car. So,
and that would be number 51.
51. That makes sense. So, yeah. And I wonder if this is going to be fully licensed by Mercedes, because it does have the Mercedes logo there, right smack dab in the middle. We know that Transformers does get a lot of partnership from, Chevrolet or GM, because obviously Bumblebee's been a Camaro for 10 years now, 12 years, I guess. Mercedes is a new, and they're not owned by GM. They're a Daimler Chrysler company, so that's a different partnership altogether. But it looks pretty badass. Guys, this is 4 brand new figures. Are any of them kind of speaking to you? Because, like myself, I'm not a big movie fan, but I'm still looking at buying this Soundwave. Charles?
I think the RC set, I guess, I'm really disappointed with how they were portrayed in the movie. I mean, I guess I air quotes portrayed, since they were on screen for like 10 seconds
Sure.
and then murdered. But these figures look really... it's interesting to have, like, especially there are 3 motorcycle figures that are they're the same mold, but they each have a slightly different styling to them. So that's that's cool. I wonder, is it a 3-pack that you have to buy, that you can buy them together, or do you have to buy each of them individually?
No, I'm assuming it's a 3-pack.
I mean, that's what the slide here says.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would imagine they're going to be smaller too.
Yeah, they do look pretty small. I mean, I think it's those are at least look interesting to me. Yeah, but I like you, I'm not really a movie figure collector at all, so I don't think any of these are tempting me to buy them. Bumblebee, definitely not. There's too many Bumblebees in the world. Mm-hmm. The Soundwave looks cool too. And having the Laserbeak figure, that's nice. Although it needs some more. I mean, I know in the movie he was all silver like that, but it just needs a little bit more color. It needs some paint apps. The Hot Rod offends me. I hate the portrayal of Hot Rod in what was that? Was that Last Night?
That was Last Night
that he was in.
Yeah.
Hot Rod from the Last Night is an abomination, and I hate it. And so I hate this figure.
Wow. Strong feelings. All right. Jeremy, what are your thoughts on these 4 new figure packs?
I'm not really a fan of the way that the motorcycles look transformed. I mean, the motorcycle modes look great. The robot modes, it just, I don't know, it looks like they did the top half of the robot and then just found a way to make it stand up, and it doesn't look very good. Mm-hmm. I don't have as visceral reaction to Hot Rod as Charles does. I mean, it looks like a neat figure. I have no connection to the character because I didn't really enjoy it that much in the movie. But, I mean, having World War II era Transformers is always kind of cool.
Yeah.
I really think the Bumblebee looks nice. And the movie 1 Bumblebee is pretty much my only movie toy I have. And it is not an enjoyable figure at all to transform. So I would be interested to see how well, they've improved on it, because the Studio Series line is all supposed to be better versions than the originals. It looks like the arm is doing an interesting thing with those 2 circles on the arm. I'm wondering if that's like part of the transformation or just to kind of expose the hand, but it looks like that panel just kind of pops from one of the circles to the other. I don't know if you see that like on his left arm, but it's something I haven't really seen in Transformers before. That kind of, I don't know what you call it. It's not a joint, but
we'll take a look and get some in-hand reviews, I guess, at the time when they start showing up.
And then I agree. The Soundwave looks really good. The car mode especially, but
I do wish they painted it. It was gray in the movie, like Charles had said.
At least in robot mode,
then
you have some pieces
color,
that aren't exposed in the car mode. Give it some color. Give it some blues or some purples or something.
Yeah.
But that would be for.
And color Laserbeak too. Laserbeak wasn't all silver like that in the movie.
But we now have this community of people that like to mod toys that in our Discord. I'd like to see what they could do to it. Make it still look like a badass car, but then robot mode, give it a little more color and personality.
Yoshi, what do you think?
I'd like to contribute something of substance, but I don't think I can. I feel like the single tone colors on all of these and the fact that they're movie figures, it just feels like they fell short of the buck there.
Okay.
# nope.
All right. That's it. That's all that I got this week.
All right.
Jeremy, you're up.
Starting off with kind of bad news, kind of, nothing's really changing. 3A is shutting, not really, I guess it is shutting down. 3A is a partnership between the artist Ashley Wood and Kim Fung Wong. And they collaborate, like the TFCons had some prints from Ashley Wood under the 3A label. I have an Optimus Prime one. There's some others. But Ashley Wood is shutting down 3A, and Kim Fung Wong has done this other thing that basically they've worked together. He has ThreeZero, and so what's happening is the Transformers license as well as Destiny 2, which they also do, are moving to ThreeZero. So if you've pre-ordered anything through their official website, the World of 3A, or Bombaland.com, those will be honored by ThreeZero. Any future things are going to be produced by ThreeZero. So it seems like nothing is really going to change. If you've ordered something, you should still be taken care of. The future things that we've seen announced, like the statues, should still come out, and I would imagine they're still going to be, high quality as we should expect. It's just, it's been like, I think they said about 10 years of 3A, and they've done some really nice stuff. I mean, none of us are really fans of owning the statues, in part because they're crazy expensive, but they're high quality. It will be interesting to see where they're going from here, but wanted to pass that along because I do know we do have fans of 3A in our audience. And I personally really do like that Optimus Prime print that I have that, Ashley Wood did.
Do we know if Ashley Wood's going back to comics or anything like that?
It didn't say. It just said that they are going in different directions. Who knows?
All right, then.
Moving on. We talked about this months ago, I think back in December or February, maybe, some months ago. Anywhere further than a week, I can't remember. But Wizkid has announced these unpainted miniatures. Specifically, they make things for like role-playing games, and it's about that size, just like a couple inches tall, I'm guessing. But they have released some images of the Transformers miniatures that they're going to be releasing. There's an Optimus Prime, a Bumblebee, a Megatron, and a Starscream. But as people in our Discord have mentioned, that you get a Seeker, you can paint it up to be, any number of other Seekers. So that's kind of an easy way to get other figures. And these look really good. I mean, obviously they non-movable. Like I said, these are unpainted, as a figure is pretty common with things like this. I'm looking forward to getting these. I want to see how they scale with that train set I got. I think that would be really neat instead of having the little decoy figures that come with it. Get some of these. Yoshi, you are the probably the biggest RPG guy on our cast. What do you think of these?
I own Wizkid D&D miniatures, and the ones I buy come with like a character and a little pet, and they're fully colored and they're super high quality. They're way higher quality than the stuff Wizards of the Coast used to put out, and they're less than $8.
Well, these are retailing for $5.
Okay, so they're not charging you for not having paint on them, which is cool. I really do like them, and I've never painted anything, and I think that's what's going to keep me from getting them. But Man, they do look cool. I imagine somebody could make a quick buck who wants to just paint them for people and sell them.
I mean, there's definitely the skill in the fandom. All these customizers.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm wondering about the faction logos because their painted, rendered version has the Autobot and Decepticon logos. I'm wondering if they're going to provide those as stickers, or if you need to go to Toy Hacks and get one. It would be neat to get the rub side stickers and put on there.
Yeah.
Daryl, what do you think of these?
Well, if I can find one or two, then I'll pick them up. It's not something I'm searching out.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can, if it's not a blind bag situation, then I'll happily maybe buy like an Optimus or something like that. I'm sure my daughter might have a blast kind of painting one or two, right? Because I'm not going to use them for D&D or any kind of role playing or anything like that. They'll just be kind of fun little things for her. Yeah, it's not something I'm going to actively search out. I've got too much little mini crap lying around anyway. But yeah, they're fun. And if it's something my daughter wants to kick around with, then yeah, I'll get it.
Cool. And Charles, what about you?
Yeah, these are cool little figures. I am not into painting miniatures, so that is definitely not for me. I would much rather either commission someone to paint them or or give them away as if someone wants to do that as a project. It's funny that I thought about maybe these would be good for Mike's Empire of Rust RPG sessions, but then 3 out of the 4 characters are not in the universe currently that he's doing.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I guess 2 out of 4, because Optimus Prime he could make a cameo. But Megatron's on the Lost Light out in deep space, and Bumblebee is dead or a ghost, haunting Starscream right now. So I guess Starscream would be the major.
Just leave Bumblebee unpainted.
Yeah. But no one else, the party can't see him, so they'd have to hack into Starscream's mind or something.
What I'd like to do is get, assuming I would be able to paint these of any acceptable method, which, my painting skills are probably not very good, but I would like to do like an Optimus Prime colors, a white one for an Ultra Magnus, and then a black and teal one, and then do a couple Seekers. I think that would be fun. But in terms of the look of these, I think they look fairly accurate to the animation, particularly the laugh on the Megatron. I think that's pretty good. Starscream doesn't really have the smirk he needs. I'm looking forward to seeing these. I think it says they come out in December, so maybe Santa will bring them.
We'll just have to go to KB Toy.
Oh.
I guess we'll have to go to Toys. Oh, wait a minute.
Well, who knows? By then, we'll have an online Toys R Us, probably.
Go to the Toys R Us in New Jersey. There's one open in New Jersey. That's where you can go, Yoshi.
Yeah. That's not a road trip I am prepared to endure.
All right. Well, how about you just tell us what you got, Yoshi?
Sure. It looks like Takara Tommy Mall's website has a couple of Seacons available for us. Charles, get ready to fix my pronunciation. They've got Poseidon or Paracon. They've got
Piranacon.
Piranacon. Thank you.
And he's the combined mode.
Yeah.
Of the Seacons.
So there's also a Turtler, which is Snaptrap, and Golf, which is Scalor. And so we've been provided with some color images of these guys, and they don't look bad at all. You can buy both figures together in a Wave 1 set, which is going to retail for around $104. You can get Snaptrap on his own for $65, and you could get Scalar on his own for $38. And I really dig the colors on these guys. Does this excite you, Daryl?
Well, he's cool. He's very cool. But I'm pretty much done with Combiners right now. So as far as Combiner Wars stuff goes, he looks neat. The prototype that we saw looks pretty cool, but I'm pretty much done with him. Especially the fact that he's going to be Hasbro Select. It's going to be tough for me to get if I wanted to.
Are you suffering from combiner fatigue, Charles?
Yeah, I've been suffering from that for a long time. But these the colored Seacons look really nice. Like we had just seen the gray prototypes before, but seeing Snaptrap and I guess Scalar colored, they look really nice. They look like really good representation. So if you are into the Seacons, I think these would be a good pickup. And it seems like they are going to be a bit pricey since they're the Generation Selects, and I don't know if they're even available through the Hasbro Pulse website yet. Probably they will be, but it's probably going to be a premium price, which is not cool. But they are mimicking the gimmick from the original Seacons, where each limb turns into an arm, a leg, and a gun mode, and they show all three of those for the one limb here with Scalar. So I'm glad they're preserving that. But yeah, if you're into the Seacons, this is probably a good update to the Seacons.
What about you, Jeremy? Do you want to set up your Transformers train right next to a lake so you can buy these guys?
No. I'm like Daryl, I'm pretty much done with Combiner Wars right now. I will say the colors are very much late 80s, early 90s. You know, the pinks and the teals and stuff. It just, I love that. I wish that the comic was translated. It seems like there's some Beast Wars stuff going on.
Stay tuned for alt mode.
Okay, well there. I do like that some of the Japanese symbols on that last page there remind me of the Beast Wars font. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, these look great. I'm just not the target market for these, but being Generation Select, they know their target market is small.
Okay, Charles, what came out in this last week that you are dying to share with us?
Not too much.
Aw.
So I did from the TFW 2005 site. There were a couple of interviews linked from toy designers. So there was a podcast interview from Slate, Slate.com, where they interviewed John Warden and Lindsay Bernier. So these are John Warden is the senior design manager, and Lindsay Bernier is the senior project engineer for Transformers at Hasbro. And it's about a 40-minute podcast interview, and it was really interesting just to hear some of their background, like how they got into designing toys and working at Hasbro, and then the process of how they design the figures. You know, there's a little bit of cross collaboration with Takara Tomy in Japan. They kind of do the concept work and design in Hasbro, and then at Takara Tomy is where they do like the nitty gritty engineering, the transformations and everything. And then Lindsay, as kind of the product engineer, is also handles the logistics of how the toys get manufactured and made, and how they can come in under budget so that they can be produced at a mass market price. So it's really interesting to just hear how the process works and how everyone works together to produce these toys. So if you have a chance, I'd encourage you to go listen to it. And if you have any interest in how our transforming toys get made. Another interview, this was a text interview from GameSpot, and this was with Ben Montano, who is the senior director of global marketing for Transformers. And so this interview was more focused on the HasLab Unicron crowdfunding effort and the Unicron figure in general. A couple of interesting tidbits that came out of this interview, and this was also mentioned at the end of the John Warden and Lindsay Bernier interview, is that HasLab, the Unicron design process was 18 months. So they've been working on this for a year and a half before they unveiled it at SDCC. The figure is going to stand on its own. It has, I think we talked about how it has so many points of articulation, but we had questioned whether or not with the weight that this figure has, if it could stand on its own, and Ben Montano confirmed that in robot mode, this figure can stand on its own. It can do lots of poses standing without the stand. You do need the stand for the planet mode, so the planet mode cannot float in space without it can't defy gravity.
What?
But in robot mode,
what are you even paying for?
Immediate cancel your pledge, right?
Yeah.
So that was encouraging to hear that the robot mode is able to stand on its own and pose on its own. He also in the interview he mentioned or he projected that it would take the average person 8 to 12 minutes to transform it from planet to robot and back. I guess one in either direction. So he said the designer, it takes him 10 minutes with the prototype.
And it's also being careful because it's a prototype, I'm sure.
Right. Mm-hmm. But he says the final production model should
Weighs
be
about
8 to 12 minutes.
pounds.
So I don't know. I think, yeah, I think that's a little underestimating the difficulty and complexity, but we'll see. Yeah, so this was encouraging. At least this interview was encouraging. It answered a couple of questions. I know people are still put off by the huge amount of bat kibble on this figure, but the fact that it is really well articulated and can stand on its own and they designed it to be transformable by a normal human being, apparently. So that's encouraging. So yeah, definitely we'll link to the interview in the show notes. You can check that out if you want to read all the details. All right, so now to talk about an actual toy accessory from Dime Chalk Reports Facebook page. We have some information about a War for Cybertron Siege Jetfire upgrade kit. So this is from Shockwave Labs. This is item, I guess, SL-56. It's a kit that allows you to combine the War for Cybertron Siege Jetfire with the War for Cybertron Siege Optimus Prime. It's a really, I mean, they just show what it's just a couple of pieces to add on, but they show how it basically turns your Jetfire into one of those construction walker robots from Aliens, and then your Optimus Prime
An exosuit.
Yes, okay. Construction walker bots from Aliens isn't it, I like my phrasing better, but anyway, exosuit, and it turns Optimus Prime into Ripley. So you can have.
Not all of us have seen Aliens.
Fair enough. Well, you have an assignment after this podcast is over, Jeremy. But yeah, it looks cool. I mean, it's really it's something I hadn't. I mean, this is of course Optimus Prime combining with Jetfire was not a thing until the live action movies. So that's what we have to thank for this. But this I think this is a cool implementation here where it really reminds me of Ripley from Aliens, and you can have Optimus Prime yelling, "Get away from her, you bitch!" And and they also have a I guess one picture they have is this a little Matrix add-on kit? Is that another Shockwave Labs kit to add on to give a glowing Matrix in the chest of Optimus?
I believe so.
Yeah, and then all the fire effects as well. So
Before we get any feedback, I should correct you, Charles.
Okay.
Optimus Prime combined with Jetfire in Armada.
Oh, okay. That's true.
Before the live action movies.
Fair enough.
That felt so good.
I tip my hat to you, Jeremy. But yeah, I like this kit. Of course you have to buy the Jetfire and the Optimus Prime, which is that's not insignificant. But Jeremy, what do you think of this kit here?
I'm not a huge fan of the combined mode, but again, I haven't seen that movie you referenced, so maybe I would like it more if I'd seen that. But I do like the little weapons that he included, the little kind of stabs that are compatible with the Siege little action pieces. Mm-hmm. I think those look really cool, and then also how they provide like stability in that combined form. I mean, it's neat. This is a type of third party thing I really like, where you have to, add it on to the original toy. So I'm sure there will be a lot of people that will get a lot of enjoyment out of this.
Yoshi, have you seen Aliens?
Yes.
So what do you think of this?
It was a great movie, Charles. Didn't you see it? It
Yes, I did.
was revolutionary for its time.
Okay, but I was asking you about the figure or the upgrade kit or, the configuration here.
I think it is such a cool idea, but I also think, especially when you look at this thing from the side, it requires a little more imagination than your standard imagination requires for toys, I guess. So that part kind of, I mean, looking at it from the front, you're like, okay, this could fucking work. And then at the side, I'm like, okay, this doesn't fucking work. For me, that's just for me. It's such a cool idea. And I don't know if more parts can make that less mentally intensive for me. But right now, it's just too much imagination is required. Okay,
I mean, I take your point, Yoshi, but I think if I look back in the 80s with the toys we got, we had to put in a lot of imagination to get our toys to to mimic what we saw in the cartoon or in the movies.
The fact that when you compare it to Ripley's exosuit, her arms are controlling the larger arms, where what I'm getting from this is Optimus Prime's arms can just wave frantically, and Skyfire has to just keep up. Like there needs to be a housing there with something for him, just to make it believable enough.
Okay.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. They expected us to believe that mutants could be turtles with ninja skills. I understand. There was quite a stretch of imagination. I get it, but this is more than that.
I could see it. It would be nice if they had included a piece that would go around Jetfire's arm that would have that connection to go into the side of Prime. So there's already a peg there.
I understand what you're saying there, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not even talking about any other property. I'm talking about with just Transformers. Like, take Huffer, the toy Huffer, and tell me how much imagination is required to make the toy Huffer look like the Huffer you see on the G1 cartoon.
A lot of ugly looking Transformers, Charles. I know that.
Or Brawn, or all the Transformers who had no faces in the toys and had really nice faces in the cartoon. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying, it's not a stretch for me to imagine Optimus Prime holding two control joysticks and that they're attached to the Jetfire arms there.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
The difference between you and me is about 75 doctorates, okay?
All right, Daryl, what about your imagination? What do you think of this?
I think it looks really cool. I like the firing effects that they have with it. And I want to know where those are from, because those aren't standard Transformer ones. But yeah, those are really cool. It's a cool set. I already have the Optimus, so gotta track down a Jetfire. I wonder how sturdy it is. Like like how secure does that Optimus fit in there?
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I think it looks really badass.
All right, well, that's my toy topic, and that'll do it for our toy discussion. So let's move on to some trips to the store. This is where we show off all the amazing Transformer stuff we got this week. We do this as a video that we show on YouTube, and you can see everything we got in beautiful high definition. But you can also just listen to the podcast, keep listening, because we will describe everything in loving detail. So without further ado, trips to the store.
The Transmissions Podcast will return after these messages.
All right, let's get into the stuff we've got this week. Yoshi, start us off.
I got my hands on, it's not an original, but it's a replica of the exact script IDW rejected from me. It has beautiful art by Casey Collar and colors by Tom B. Long. And you will all be able to download all of this from TransformersReanimated.com on Wednesday.
That's today, when this video goes up.
Right. So pause the video, go download it, and then come back. It's a very entertaining tale Charles can attest to that because he actually read it. It has nothing to do with the fact that I make him look like a boss in this script. So,
I don't have a cat, though.
It was a joke. It was a joke. It was funny. It worked. You have a cat in mythology.
He has a cat,
right?
so that means he becomes an evil mastermind doctor at some point.
He could be a doctor of anything throughout the rest of the series. Also, good friend of the show, Dinobot Maximize, who gives us countless dollar bucks, sent me my long sought after Cosmos Transformers Trading Card game card. Not asked for, not solicited for, just heard me bitching about it and wanted me to shut up. So, thank you, Dinobot. I really appreciate that. It was super cool of you and completely unnecessary, but thank you. And that's all I've got this week, Charles.
Very cool. All right, Jeremy, what did you pick up this week?
Nothing really new, although I wasn't on the show last week, but I met up with you, had a good dinner, and you gave me a few things. One of them is somewhere in this mess of an office that I can't remember where I put it down. But you sent me, you gave me the business cards that I had printed up for you guys for TFCon Toronto. So hopefully this is another incentive to go to TFCon DC. And these 2 stickers that were based off our new designs that Mike did. Tape Man and was Boombox Man. And they are completely not in focus there. There we go. So they're cool. And then you also gave me a gift from Jim Simonic, which is Yoshi's already shown off his with the test pressing of Respector Prime, which is great, and it actually made it from Pittsburgh to here in one piece. Yes.
I am very thankful for that. I was worried about that.
I did not check it. It did not, leave like 5 feet from me, and I had it with like some thick cardboard boxes I tore up to protect it. And I will be getting a frame and probably frame that. So that's awesome. And
you have a little bit of thanks to me for that as well, because I had to convince Charles to not put that in his scorching car for 8 hours.
Yeah, it is so flat. It is not warped at all. So, and that is everything I got this week. Charles also got me a comic, but that's what I can't find right now. Yeah.
But you have it. Although I did forget to give you the other comic, but that's okay.
That'll be a problem for future Charles and future Jeremy to work out. So that's all I got.
It's okay. I said, is it at least bagged and boarded, Jeremy?
Well, it is bagged. I have a bag that is...
No, the comic.
The comic, yes. The comic is... Charles gave it to me bagged and boarded.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm not a savage, Yoshi. All right, so let's talk about what I got this week. So I've still got some TFCon stuff to show off. Sarah Peter Durocher, as Daryl mentioned last week, she had a bunch of her comps that she was selling at TFCon Toronto, and I got in on that after Daryl clued me in. Thank you, Daryl. I also picked up one of the basically textless
nice
covers from Unicron #1 that she did. So this is the homage to Transformers #1, but there's no text on it at all, and she signed it as well for me. So thanks, Sarah. I also got a full set of the graffiti covers that she did for the first issues of the post-Revolution comics. So there's Lost Light, there's Revolutionaries, there's G.I. Joe, there's also Mask, it's inside there, and then there's Optimus Prime, and then you see here's the post-it that tells you it's a set of 5 graffiti covers.
Would that be a Shelton?
This would be a full set of comics. I don't know if there's a colloquial term for that, but I'm just going to say it's a full set of comics. And look, $20, so very reasonable price for all 5 of these comics.
$20 Canadian.
So, yes, $20 Canadian. So $2. So very nice. I also got Sarah Peter Durocher's her art book, which is very cool. It's all colored too, so this is mostly colored.
Charles just spent his entire time at Sarah's table.
I also get Livio Ramondelli's sketchbook.
It's been a long time since Livio's been at a TFCon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jack Lawrence, Lost Light Bible. Kei Zama sketchbook. And I think, Yoshi, do you recognize this page?
Yep.
So that's Yoshi's commission in her sketchbook.
Oh, no. That's not my commission.
Oh, it's not?
No. She did Megatron and Superman. Megatron and Optimus Prime duking it out.
Ah, okay.
But that's not it. The reason I recognize that is because I have the same book.
And last sketch. Well,
I was hoping you would show this. This is the best.
This is NSFW, so I don't know if I should open this on camera, but
do it. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
If I could swear, we could see some Robo-Dick.
It's not even that. It's all implied. It's implied.
No, it's NSFW if they weren't robots. I'll say that. So this is Alex Milne's Hot Motor Oil book and art book. So this shows. So if you are a shipper, you like shipping the Transformers characters, this is the book for you. Also, he did a personal sketch in the front, so I asked him to do a Nautica sketch. So thank you, Alex, for the Nautica sketch. And so
is there any description in there or any kind of explanation like this is a result of being asked the weirdest fucking commissions over 10 years or something?
Not really, no.
Okay.
It's just all art.
At least it doesn't say
Transformer
ships on the cover, so people aren't going in expecting like a detailed picture of the Ark.
Megatron and Optimus in a loving embrace. Love is a battlefield, literally. So no, this is fun. I thoroughly enjoyed this.
It's a very
hilarious.
funny look at a sketchbook, I thought.
I also, just in regular comics, I picked up Death's Head #1. So this is Kei Zama's work with writer Teenie Howard and colors by Felipe Sobrero. Last, I will show a toy. So at one of the parts parties at TFCon Toronto, I picked up a Micromaster Combiner. And this one is special because this is Slide and Oiler, the much talked about Slide and Oiler from the Optimus Prime series from the last few years. So you've got Slide, who is the tanker part. So that's all I got this week. Daryl, we'll send it over to you to take us home.
Okay. Well, I did do some more stuff from TFCon. I have it here. I don't have any comics to show. I didn't have anything else there. But I did get most of G2 Starscream. So here he is here. I'm looking for a couple of the little side wings here. And, of course, the noise box thing. So, yeah. So it's still still my project piece, but I like doing those. It's Daryl Complete, obviously. But yeah, he's fun. G2 Starscream. As far as TFCon, like brand new purchases go, I bought a lot of like Legends class stuff. Obviously, I bought this guy and I showed him off at the panel at the end of the show, the closing podcast panel. This is Flip Out, whatever. He's the little tiny Legends class Bumblebee. Like, I don't know. What can I show him next to? This is a
banana.
Here's a Creon. So, yeah, he's pretty.
Not much bigger.
Yeah, he's pretty small, and he is super articulated. Like, and he's a really complex transformation for this size. Like, he was $30 Canadian, and he's worth it. Moving on to the next Legends class thing. This is from Magic Square, and this is a remold of their Ultra Magnus figure, but it is the Power Master Optimus Prime that they did. And it kind of sucks, but it's okay. I mean, for the size class, it's not bad, but you can definitely see the Ultra Magnus bits in there. And if you take off his wing pack on the back, you can really see it. So, like, there it is there, right? So, anyway, it's okay. It does the trick. It transforms into a transport truck that, has wings and stuff. So, it's got a weird, different alt mode. I did get a one that I really didn't pay too much attention to, but I guess I do remember talking about it on the show. This is from Toy World, and they got into the Legends class game with Wheeljack was their first one. And this is a really good looking Wheeljack figure. The alt mode on this is phenomenal. So, yeah. He was a little bit more pricey. I think he was $45 Canadian. So, yeah. He's a bit more pricey, but really, really good looking figure. Again, a complex transformation. I got 2 Iron Factory figures. First one, this is one I got even before the show opened. This is the Hound figure, sorry. And this is, I can't remember, Optics Hunter, I think they called him.
Yeah.
And this is
Optic Hunter, yep.
Yeah, so he's pretty awesome. Jeremy, I think you'd like this. So
Okay.
Definitely look for this one when you're at the next con or online or whatever. He's a good figure. He's really posable, and he comes with a bunch of accessories, a bunch of different hands that you can swap out, and the alt mode is really awesome. So, yeah, take a look for that. And lastly, I did get this. This is one that I have been scared shitless to mess around with because I heard nothing but horror stories about it after I bought it. So I've been assured by the company that I bought it from that I can play with it, and that if I break it, then they'll take care of me, but I don't want to break it. This is Iron Factory's Tarn. The arms on him are horrendous, and they break really, really easily out of the package. But the other set, because this is part of a combiner to make a giant Tarn out of the entire DJD team, but the next set, the one that has Kaon and the other one, what'd you get? What's the other one, Charles?
Kaon and Voss.
Voss, right. So the next set that has those two guys actually comes with replacement arms for Tarn. And I wasn't ever planning on completing this set, but so I emailed. Well, that's the thing, is I emailed the company that I got it from and told them what I did, and they said, well, if you break it, then we need pictures and we can take care of you, but we can't preemptively take care of you. So I'm gonna see what I can do with it, but I don't feel good about breaking things on purpose.
He has a soul.
The next thing is that Jeremy sent along this with Charles, so I do have the Laserbeak and Ravage Minicon set, and since I got it, thank you, Jeremy, for sending
After
this.
I accidentally sold it and then gave the guys the money back. Oops.
Yeah, there you go. I still haven't seen it here in Canada, which is weird. They apparently have shown up, but they're popular. So I did also buy the set of Repro labels, stickers, and the add-on little piece. So I'm going to open it up and put it all together. But I did find Soundwave, so I did get Soundwave as well. So I'll put everybody together and make them a big happy family. And
what a magnificently scuffed bastard.
All right, well, that'll do it for Trips to the Store.
We now return to the Transmissions Podcast.
All right, we're back from our trips to the store, and let's finish up the show with convention news.
We only have one thing in convention news this week, and this is thanks to Quattro in our Discord chat. He pointed this out to us. Ages 3 and Up is having a Transformers Day on August 17th. This is the same weekend as TF Nation, but ages 3 and up is located in British Columbia. So at their store, which is located, actually, we'll have the address in the show notes. I'm not going to read out this long address, but they're going to have deals on Transformer toys, giveaways, things, and also they're going to have Marcelo Matera is going to be there doing. There's a meet and greet, and I'm wondering if he's going to do custom artwork. I'm not sure, but I'm sure he will autograph stuff. And then Azim Vinksta of Renderform is also going to be there, and he does some really good custom stuff. So I would be interested to see how it goes. I believe Quattro is local to them, so maybe he can give us a report too. And thanks again for letting us know. This is really awesome. So that is convention news.
All right, and that will do it for this episode of Transmissions. Thanks, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening to this episode of Transmissions. But just because this episode is over doesn't mean the Transformers fun has to stop. Join us and other Transformers fans on our Discord chat server by visiting transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. If you would like to learn more about how you could support the Transmissions Podcast, just visit transmissionspodcast.com/support. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
All right, ready?
Sure.
Got nothing better.
Level
You got
of
your-
enthusiasm you bring to the table, Daryl.
Oh, yeah.
Daryl, your typing is very audible.
Why, thank you.
You didn't say computer.
Well, I hit the button. Computer.
Oh, okay.
And now I get a flash.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. Take a look at the help section in your Alexa app.
Okay, well let's try this. Let's try the Apple version this time.
Okay.
Give me a random number between 1 and 110.
The answer is 8.
I didn't hear that.
Well, it said the answer is 8. It probably. Do you want me to
Okay.
do it again?
Well, let's find out who 8 is. No, I'm kidding.
Computer. Why do you suck?
You can always send feedback through the help and feedback section of the Alexa app.
How dare you disrespect your record player that way? Is that the G2 thing, the huge one?